Let's talk about defining moments. Everybody in their life has had defining moments. That specific moment changed everything. Their point of view about themselves, about the mind, about the situation. So what was your defining moment that comes to mind the moment that I ask you this question? What are you thinking of? Because if we have a defining moment, we don't realize it's at that time mostly. But mostly afterwards, when we look back, we think that was really defining moments that changed the course of my life. And I think it's really important to acknowledge these defining moments because we can look back at it, we can re-experience it and feel the power of that in the present time, in the now, right now. And whenever you are in a situation where you're not feeling good about yourself or about anything in your life, we just can go back in our imagination to that specific moment because that moment has sharpened our life, has taken care of us in a way we don't even realize, but it has a huge impact in how you see life. And of course, these defining moments can be bad, but they also can be bad and later be good, and also can be good at already be good, right? So one of my defining moments, immediately there are two thoughts when I talk about that. One of them was the very first time that I went to a therapist. I was 17 years old because I was bullied for many years. I went there and I was really feeling frustrated, anger. I had a lot of sadness going on. I was feeling like I was not worthy to live. And I was there and I did my story. I told my experiences and how I felt about myself. And the therapist said to me, I don't know, I don't think that I can help you. And I said, why? I mean, you are a therapist, right? And she said, yes, but I noticed that you are a big time in victimhood and I just can't help victims. You need to first get out of your victimhood. I was shocked. I thought, how dare you? How dare you say that to me? And I went home and I felt really confused. I felt so confused. I thought, victimhood? Am I in a victimhood? But all the things has happened with me and to me. So what is happening here? And it took me about 2 weeks. And then finally, I suddenly thought, like, okay, maybe I am in victimhood. And if I really want to change and change all the crap that was going on in me and what was totally affecting my life in every situation possible and every friendship possible, I thought I need help because I can't do this alone. And I also don't want to only talk about it with friends because they are not my therapist, right? And you want to have a professional help. So I went there again. I said, you are right. I was really in a situation where I felt so bad and I had a lot of self-pity, but I am here because I want to live. So there started my therapy session and healing stuff. But that was a defining moment. And that was already when I was 17 years old. And then another defining moment I had, that was about 20 years ago or something. I was a volunteer at a festival, in a spiritual festival, and there was a firewalk. And I used to think that it was absolutely impossible to walk over 1,000 degrees hot stones. I thought it's absolutely not possible. But we had a powerful mindset training before that. And then while we were having this mindset training, outside there were people were preparing the firewalk walk thing, right? And then there came the moment that we were with a bunch of people, I don't know, about 80 people or something. And we are standing in front of this firewalk place. And they said, okay, just your mind, you are walking, you just go for it. You just do this. And I just thought, I first thought, oh my goodness, if this is going to be good. But I saw other people walking and finally I thought, I need to do this. I really need to do this. And I did. I stepped on it with bare foot and I walked. And it was actually a lot of, I don't know, 25 meters or something like that, or 30 meters. So it was 1 or 2 meters. It was really walking. And as soon as I was walking, I felt it under my feet, but it didn't burn at all. I was so focused that I thought, I can walk this, I can do this, I just walk this. But the moment I later heard of other people, the moment they thought their thoughts like, oh my goodness, this is really bad and I'm walking on fire and this is not helpful, then, only then, they got a blister. They got a blister when they finally were at the end of the firewalk place. So it's so important that I acknowledge that defining moment, because I knew after that that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. So freedom really starts within yourself. So what has been your defining moment? And maybe you have, like me, many defining moments. What was it for you? And what was for you the breakthrough that you thought, I didn't think that it even was possible that happened to me, like I had with the firewalk? So, because if you acknowledge these moments, then you start to feel the freedom that you know that you can do here anything you want, anything. You can put your mind to a negative point of view and you start to feel the negative things. I mean, we all have experienced that, right? And we also can focus our mind to what we really want and focus on that. And at the moment, I'm reading the book of Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. It's about 10x is easier than 2x. And in that book, it says society has programmed us that we only need to do things. We need things. But if we coming from needing, then there is a lack. There is a lack consciousness. There is not an abundance energy. If you look at what you want, then you start to feel this creativity, and that really enhances the strength of your mind. So it activates what you really want. And then if you what you really want, it turns on creativity. And it also can enhance your feeling about yourself, about what you really want. What do you want from yourself, and what do you want for yourself? Because you and you only can decide right now what you want from life, what you want from you, and you know that anything is possible, because when you go back to your defining moments, that you have overcome that defining moment, you know that everything is possible. I am just here to activate and remembering you that you can do anything, because you have had your defining moments. It's important that you acknowledge these, because these are the milestones of your journey into life and during life. So just write for yourself all the defining moments and then choose one. And then think of, if you go back to that situation and you turn and you go then to a current situation in your life right now, what doesn't feel good at all, just go back, just combine the two of them together. Like, what did I learn there? What was really my breakthrough? And what did I do with my mind? And how can I use right now my mind when I look back to my defining moments? What can I do right now that I want to get at this moment? And just because you are very strong up here, and I know you are strong, because if you have gone through a lot of things, of bad things in your life, like I did, I know how strong you are. And we need to really activate that strength that we have here, that is all in us. And I am here to remember you to that strength, to that power that you have. You can do anything and everything, because when you put your mind to it, you can do anything. Like I could do the firewalk, and I thought it was absolutely impossible, right? So if you're struggling right now, go back to your defining moments, choose one, what is really triggering you right now, that you think, oh, that is really the one that I want to align with right now. Go back there, think about it, and just write down for yourself, what was my big breakthrough over there, and how can I use this point of view, this mindset, what I had back then, how can I use it to solve the current situation? Okay, so I hope this was helpful, because this is giving you freedom. And if we want to have freedom in our life, we need to think about things differently, right? It's all about that. And just write down for yourself what you want, anything, what you want. The more you write down what you want, not what you need, what you want, the creativity goes on. It becomes activated. You see other things, you hear people talking, and you hear other things than before, because it's all a point of view. Okay? So let's go for freedom and let's start here. Everything starts with here. And feeling the freedom and knowing that you are freedom and you are already free. But all the programming and all the stories and all the paradigms and all the nasty stuff that is also has put into us, we can remove it by simply wanting freedom and go for our defining moments and pull them back right here in the present moment. And I know you can do it. I'll see you in the next video.